my youngest just recently was academically dismissed from college. So he knew going into the fall that he was on academic probation and really had to, work for it. And he apparently chose not to. So he was academically dismissed. So it kind of shut me down a little bit. And there's another one of his friends that lives with us, moved in with us his junior year of high school, and he decided to not go to college anymore. So all of a sudden, out of the 3 kids I have going to college, 2 of them came home. So I'm trying to figure that out. And I just was mentally not able to do it. My sales are down. My team wasn't really doing anything. I think I had one person active with like $500 in sales. So I called Trina and was like, I'm done. I'm out. I can't do this.
And she was in month 3. And last month was month 3, friends. Like,
month 3. Yeah. So I like had to hit it. And I'm sobbing and I'm like, I just can't do this. And, blah, 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 blah. And 2 days later, or a week later, I don't even know how many days.
It was like a week later.
It was a week later. I called her back and she was very gracious, very gracious. Whatever you need to do, if your why has changed, whatever you need to do. And I called her a week later, and I think there's 3 days left in the month, and said, I woke up with some fight today. Let's do this. What do I do? and
keep in mind, what is this, December 28th or 27th or something? I think I got the message on my way to like my spa night with like 2 days. And I was like,
you did. And I felt so bad because you're like, oh, look at my strawberries and my mask. And I'm like texting you the entire night. I felt terrible.
You'll notice I didn't respond too quick. I didn't respond unless I was ready to respond.
And then I spent the entire New Year's Eve bugging poor Trina and Shelly and Melinda and everybody else who was coming to my rescue. And I appreciate all of you so very much. I don't know how to say thank you, but thank you.
So something that I love about that was this element of, and I try, like guys, we want our leadership to be strong and we want you guys to be confident that you're walking in the right way, but we also want it to be because it's part of your influence and your passion and the things that you can do to make yourself a better version and to make those around you better versions of them. And we'll talk about that a little bit here at the end. But I love, like I said, Stephanie had told me like she was done. And I had been doing some poking and prodding, like, hey, what do you need? Like, how are things? And she was not giving me her normal response. So I was like, uh-oh. And so when she came to me, I was like, yeah, I kind of knew you were done. I was hoping that you weren't, but I was like, I could tell you weren't. And she had shared a little bit about what she had going on. But then, like, guys, if there is a testament to anything can happen when you flip the switch, she woke up one day and said, not today. And she changed and she started working. And we kind of joked around. I told her, I go, here's the deal. You need to know, I don't know what plans you had for New Year's, but you kind of screwed them over. I was like, if we can get this finished a little early, that would be great. But you made a choice before, and now you're making the choice to be all in, that your New Year's might not look like this lovely little toast. So, some of those things that we were, figuring out. But she was able to go through and do it. I'm watching you guys as a director team go in. Shelly's sending people over there. I think Melinda had an order placed under the party. Like, it's just crazy. And watching you guys come together and people messaging, hey, where's she at? Is she going to make it? Like, hey, you can do it. Watching that thread go back and forth is super, super powerful. And one of the things that I told Stephanie, and one of the things that we don't ever want you guys to be in that situation. I remember what it's like to be in month 3. Okay. I don't like it. I remember it. It was a horrible, horrible feeling. I don't have that feeling to keep my director title anymore, but we push it close sometimes with our executive title. But like, I remember what that was like, and I don't want you guys to feel that way. And we had the talk about like, we need to keep recruiting. Okay. Keep recruiting is going to be what changes that difference. And one of the things that I told, Stephanie was tearing up being like, I can't believe that these people, or she's like, I barely know you guys and you're rallying behind me. And I was like, if you ever had any doubt as to why you share this business, this is why. Because there are so many people out there that do not have a tribe of any sort. They don't have anyone to rally behind them. They don't have anyone to encourage them when they're down. I have some personal teammates that have been sending me some messages, or like, guys, look at that event, the lies we tell ourselves. Like, that is what our people are coming in with. And if they weren't part of our team, they might not ever be told with full heart, like, that it was untrue. these things that they're thinking about themselves, that they're not good at anything, they're never going to make it, they fail at everything, whatever that person said is true, the abusive relationship I'm in is just as good as it's going to get for me, like all of these things that they have. And so just realizing that, like, if you were ever in doubt about why we share, like, remember those moments, and that's fine. So I just thought, yes. So that was, so to look at Stephanie pulling out her 5,000 and that 4486 is pretty impressive. And then our top, let's give a big holler to Miss Shelly Wolf with $4,719. Look at her crushing her Hawaii goal. Okay, she needed some sales to hit her Hawaii. And here is what is so great about this. Here's what I love about this. Okay, and a testament again that when we take care of ourselves, we can help others. So Shelly, at the end of the month, at the end of a trip earning period that she is rocking hard and going for, she is able to send people over to a sister director. She's a benefit. Like me sending Stephanie a sale, at least I earned some commission off of it in some way, shape, or form, right? But like Shelly is she had worked her business in a way that she made sure she had herself taken care of, and she was able to help others just because. Like, I think that's the mental state that we all want to be at. And it was the same thing I was telling Stephanie too. I was like, I am really glad that I had my stuff taken care of. I had hit the levels that I needed to. We could rally together and figure out some things. Like, when you take care of yourself first, it allows you to be that person that swoops in and is able to be just loving on the other person. So imagine that with your team. When you have the last 2 weeks, if we are green by 15, the last 2 weeks of the year being 100% focused on your team and being like, okay, who needs help? How are we doing? Where are my leaders at? This person wanted to promote. I don't see any sales on her. Let's see where her schedule is. Like, hey, this person, it sounds like they were having, they just had a baby, or they were having a really hard time with their spouse, or their kid is sick, they're in the hospital, whatever it is, being able to suddenly turn your focus in on them, it will just make you an infinitely stronger team. So I just love that, especially knowing that Shelly just crushed her Hawaii goal. So congratulations. That's exciting. I did want to show, well, I'll post it. I'm going to post in Goal Crushers tonight after we get off. I'm going to post the top for our organization for 2018. I have those reports, and I thought that you guys would think it was fun to see where you guys landed, and then as well as who of your teammates showed up on the top of our entire organization, and then figure out a way to give them a hoot and holler, give them a shout out, whatever it is, to be able to let them know that that is where they are at. So I just think that that is great. I also wanted to give a shout out. I don't think neither of them are here, but Janet Lubin and Mary Wiseman both earned Scottsdale. So that is amazing. They were a couple other trip earners. And a special shout out to Janet, because she joined at the end of June. So like she hustles, like she works her business consistently. I think she was telling me, she was like, I think I took off Christmas Day and my husband's birthday or something from not doing 3 contacts a day. Like people will look at that and go, oh, how does she do it? It's crazy. But she puts in the work. She definitely puts in the work, and it was well deserved. So okay, let's see. I want to keep the new trip in your guys' forefront, Disney. Okay, I know that it's kind of weird because we sit there and think, hey, it's just started. The new trip tracker, like the printout that you can like print on your fridge, is available, but like it's not counting. You can't go in and find out how many points you have yet, if that makes sense. So you should be able to kind of get an idea, like your sales, or did you qualify a recruit in the last 2 weeks? Then you have a 3,000 on top of that. But just to give you guys an idea, for those of you that are saying that you want to earn Disney, okay, it comes out to about 1,100 points per week to be able to earn level 1. Okay, 1,100 points. So if you're going, I have $7 in sales and I haven't recruited anybody, okay, you're off track. Okay, and I don't say that to like rip you a new one, because I mean it's January 15th. But the last thing I want is for you to come into March and go, oh crud, I gotta hustle because I only did this little thing or whatever going on. I want you to remember that there's a consistency sales bonus. So I know we say, I know $1,500 is free for all. So maybe some of you guys are trying to get to that. Hit at least 2,000 so you get your Disney points. Okay, and guys, 2,500 is kind of that level that we say, hey, this is kind of our director mental minimum. You know, I know that that is a big stretch because I know it was a big stretch for me for so long. Okay, good. And Shelly's got her numbers, whatever, written out of, you know, you need 18 recruits for level 1 and 24 for level 2 without sales. Like that's what that would look like. You know, being able to figure out these numbers are so important so that you have an idea what that is. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, we need to recruit. We need to recruit as a team. And we just talked about the importance of that, just having that help you guys get green, the influence that you guys can have. But I wanted to make sure that you guys kind of had that mentally, that if you're not breaking it down weekly, and you're thinking that you want to earn a trip, or you're thinking that you want to hit your financial goal, or you're thinking that you want to earn whatever it is that you're trying to figure out, then you're going to get behind really, really fast. Okay, you're going to get behind really, really fast. And so just, you know, keeping that in mindset, and think of like your teammates too, and you're teaching them to track a goal. If they say that they want, if they say that they want 4 shows, okay, if you have not had a chance to go back and find the post where people said they used the slide from the director planner, you know, like in January, I will, you know, I am equipped and skilled or whatever. And in January, I will book 4 shows. I will share the opportunity, you know, whatever that little square is. If you have not had a chance to go back and see if your teammates have made one, then you'll want to make sure that you go and do that. And I would encourage you, if someone went in and took the time to post their goal, take the time to check with those 2 or 3 people on your personal team, okay, to see how they're doing. It's halfway through the month. Did they say that they want 4 shows? Okay, well, they have 0 sales right now. Are those shows maybe just not closed, or do they still need help? Okay, and most likely they probably need help because they said they wanted 4 shows, but they do not feel equipped. A lot of times we think that we need, you know, like, well, golf, they just did it, or, you know, like there's recordings and trainings everywhere. There is. Somebody who really, 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 really wanted it would figure it out. But most people are feeling defeated. They've listened to all the lies. And unless we come up along beside them and say, okay, what do you need help with? Do you still want 4 shows? Is that still something that you're wanting to work for January? Do you still want level 2 free for all? Are you still wanting to get active this month? How can I help? You know, and just, you know, asking some of those questions to see if they are all in and invested or not. So just having them be able to do that. And if you're like, oh, my team members didn't post, then I would encourage you, go post it on your personal team page and tag everybody. Okay, again, remember, people are not seeing stuff, or they're not attending, or it's hard to go back and see stuff sometimes. Well, oh, those boys. I'm a girl mom. I don't know what's going on. But it's so important. And if you come along beside them, a couple things are going to happen. One, they're going to panic because they just had some accountability. Okay. But they might also feel really relieved that they aren't responsible for doing this alone. You know, like, just figure out some of those things. We know what works and what doesn't because we run into stuff all the time. Figure out what it is that they're not doing, and maybe they're just not willing to do it yet, or they don't know about it. Okay, maybe they're just like, I don't really like getting on the phone, or customer care, that's really weird. You want me to message them? You know, like, whatever it is that they might be avoiding, you can figure it out. And then at least you can lay it on the table like, okay, a couple things for failing. Oh gosh, Stephanie. Because a couple things, then you can at least lay it out like, okay, so you can either believe, you know, you can either do something or you can whine about it, but you don't get to do both. I don't know if you guys saw, and I hate to call her out, but it was just interesting. There was one person on that post that was like, I'm not going to do this because it's a lie. Like, I'm not equipped and I'm not. And what's funny is I had just been working with this person this week, okay, asking her to send messages, and she said, okay, I'll give it a try. And then she stopped responding to me. She wouldn't respond to me when I asked, how many did she send out? Do you need a phone call? How are you doing? Are you still wanting to give it a try? But then she comes in and says, I don't have the support and the skill. So I private messaged her or whatever. I mean, I think you saw a little bit of banter in there or whatever, but I private messaged her like, hey, did you give those, you know, that, did you try what we were working on? She hasn't messaged me back. And I'm not surprised. But like, we have to make sure that we're figuring out if it's skill or will and equipping them to be able to do so. How are you guys doing with your goals? If you posted on there, okay, who is willing to share with where you're at with your goals for the month and maybe what you need help with, or what you're still working on, or maybe you're killing it. I don't know. January is a rough one sometimes. How we doing? Does anybody know their goals?
I think I know most of my goals, and I'll tell you how not close I am.
Okay. But even that, like if everybody was crushing it, everybody would be dying to jump in and talk. So like, I think you guys are all scared that like, oh, but like you're not crushing it, and most of you probably are not, and that's why you're in this like, oh gosh, she just asked us to share. I have 8 shows, need 2 more, and my show's just started. Okay, so she's at $99. Okay, and she knows that she needs 4,500. Okay, so you should marry. You know how not close. Okay, so are you currently remedying it? Are you at a loss for ideas? Where are you at?
I think my goal was 12 shows, $2,500 in sales, and 2 recruits.
Okay.
I'm still working on my 1 recruit right now. I have $129 in sales, and I have 2 shows on my calendar. I'm messaging people, and I'm trying to think of different ways to message different people without sending the same message. Like I've been asking my girls to post in our, like I have a couple girls that I was trying to do daily posts, but I feel like it was just a repetitious, I'm posting stuff and nobody's listening and nobody cares. So I asked some of the girls on my team to do it. Well, Lori posted something today about sending messages to people, asking them if they weren't interested, if maybe they knew somebody and would be willing to help me with my business.
Mm-hmm.
So I think tomorrow I'm going to start working on that, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm not just going to be like, hey, send your friends my way. I have to think of a way to word it so that it doesn't sound so needy, you know?
Right. And man, once you figure that out, get it in your team's hands, because think like we take the time to try to figure out, ooh, what is that going to sound like? What do we need to do? We need to craft it specially. Well, the teammate might know, there's some cool way I'm supposed to say this and I don't know how to do it, so I just don't. You know, like we get the most action in our organization when I give you guys something to copy and paste. You know, because you guys people just feel more confident with it, and you all have the skills and the capability to be able to do that for your teams. Okay, yeah, Shelly.
So Mary, I don't know if this is can you hear me okay?
I don't know why I'm giving you sign language like you can't hear me.
That's funny. Mary, something that I wanted to make a suggestion for is that sometimes when I'm going through and somebody's told me no or they don't want to do it, sometimes I offer them a referral bonus. So like sometimes I'll say if this person has a show and you place an order in their show, I'll give you 10% or $10, whatever it is, off your order as a thank you for referring them. So that might be a way that you can kind of, I know that's like not the words, but the concept is there. And then the other thing, and I'm learning from my own recruit, because you all know Carrie Burke, if you've been watching her and her numbers, and I haven't put this on the page yet, but she just got interviewed by Stacia Smilik for the PC Strong Start. So she's going to be on a video with Stacia. But she's picking up the phone and she's calling people. She's like, I just pick up the phone. I don't worry about their feelings or my feelings. I just pick up the phone and I ask them. And I don't know if she has as many shows on her calendar as I do, but I feel like I'm in a little bit of a competition with her and I like it. So pick up the phone. That's what I need to start doing too. So because I don't feel like messaging green dotting works very well. I just feel like I'm always asking the same people and I'm still getting crickets. So I'm just going to start calling and texting people.
I mean, yeah. And guys, I mean, green dotting works when you're getting started and then should be like the last resort. You know what I mean? Like but what our teams are feeling like is green, like, well, how do you get bookings? The first thing, well, I green dot. Okay, yes, that's what you did 4 months ago and it worked then, but now you have, all these customers that you've had in your parties. Now what do you do? And just really being able to work. But yeah, Carrie was a director before virtual parties and even were a thing. So like, she's just naturally being like, this is what you had to do. And because she's doing it, she's being successful because it's not only does that just always work, but like it's setting her apart from everybody else. You know what I mean? In the direct sales world. And so, yeah, I love it. It's really, really cool to be able to see that. Well, I want to make sure that you guys are taking time to look at your own goals this closely. And by all means, I'm not saying, hey, you're off track. Sorry, you missed Disney. No, I mean, like I said, we just said Janet earned the trip from June on. I mean, there's plenty of time to be able to earn stuff and do things. But if you don't want to be that person calling someone about a mix and chop on December 31st, or panicking because a recruit decided that they weren't going to qualify, or no, I'm just going to hold that show till January. If you don't want to be that person, then being able to make sure that you're achieving that and teaching, if your team is watching you track week by week for your financial or your personal goals or your vacation goals, they're going to be inspired by that. It might take them a few months to figure out what you're doing. You know what I mean? You might feel like it's crickets, but then suddenly in April or May, people are like, whoa, she has been consistently doing that for months. And look at how far she's come. You know what I mean? They're watching. They are watching. Okay, so I would love to do.
Can I
yeah.
jump in for a second?
Yes.
I'm sure you guys are way ahead of me on this stuff, but I just came up with this the other day. I did see that the Disney tracker was on there to download. So
Yes.
I printed, I don't have a handful of team members, but I printed all of them, and I'm actually going to steal your stats right there about the recruits and how much you need to do, each week or whatever, if you want to stay on track, and I'll put a letter in that. And then I just went on Amazon and got these for like $1, and they're just luggage tags.
Yeah.
So I'm going to mail these with incentive tracker in the notes to each of my teammates as hopefully a little bit of an incentive to be like, oh, it's a luggage tag. Get your butt to Disney. I don't know.
I love that. That's so cute. And you know what? What you're doing is you're painting a vision. You're telling them that you could if you wanted to. Now, a lot of people will not choose. Like, guys, we have 270 people or 260 people or something on our team, and we've got 4 of us traveling. The reality is not everybody is going to earn Disney. Okay, but think of the things that they might learn along the way. Or maybe they earned a couple extra $1,000s to go on a different family trip. Maybe it wasn't a Pampered Chef paid one, but maybe it offered them that extra money for vacation. But sending them something like that lets them know that they could too, if they wanted it. It's not something, and sometimes we sit there and think it's so weird, but I promise you, if we interviewed every consultant, they would say, oh, I thought that was just something that directors could earn. Or I thought you had to be in it for a certain time. Or, I'm sure there's some misconception that it's not for them for whatever reason, because they're not plugged in or whatever. But I love that. Setting that just says, hey, this can be for everybody. You don't have to, it's not just for, I don't like that. I always joke around. It's not for just people who sell their soul to the mix and chop. Everybody can go. Love that. What'd you say?
I was just in addition to that with the everyone consultants. Did you guys see that thing in the director's success page about if you have 2 January shows right now, how you can build that to level 1 Disney?
Oh, I didn't. That's cool.
I'll share the picture. I saved it because I thought it was really cool and really encouraging for consultants, even myself, if you only have a couple shows in January, how you can still turn that into.
I love that. Yeah, that's super. Yeah, if you will share that, that would be fantastic. And my hope is it'll be different from our director numbers. Oh, yes. But honestly, from a lot of those people, if they're doing that, they and they're consistently working, they're probably going to promote to director anyways. If they're getting these recruits, you know what I mean? They might promote and just end up with those numbers anyways for the year. I would love for us to do, have you seen in the marketing imagery, all the snowmen for the booking blitz? It's got all the different parts, you build a snowman. Okay, I got 1 booking, so I've got the body. Oh, I got another booking, so then you have the head or whatever. Oh, I got another booking, I got the hat. And it posts, all the different things. And I just thought that it would be fun to do another booking blitz to help people, because guys, that Blitzen was amazing. But now the question is, they're going to have a whole bunch of cancellations because, January. Okay. Or they didn't host coach, or they didn't keep it in front of their, host minds, and maybe it's not even a cancellation, but it got pushed back to February. And we want to make sure that they still feel encouraged. And so something like that connects. Do you have any suggestions? Last time the booking blitz, it was fantastic for multiple reasons. One, we didn't have to track anything. As directors, we weren't hounding our team. We had team captains when we divided our director teams into it, but there wasn't any it was the most successful and most fun and most talked about blitz that we've ever done, and not a single incentive or reward was offered. And I had to do no tracking whatsoever. So there's something to be said about that. But I'm trying to picture how this one would work, because it's, like, I think that team element was huge. And I don't know how would that look with the snowmen, do you think? Do we have them build? Maybe they build, maybe they build together. So like you got a booking, so you got the body, and then you got a booking, so you got, like the hat. And like they try to, like every team tries to build as many full snowmen as they can. Does that make sense? Would that be team? Because like the pictures are designed for like every person to be like building their snowman. But I'm just worried that like, I think part of the power of that booking Blitzen was the teamwork and the accountability and the reporting to someone. And, well, I don't want to not do anything. I don't want to be the goose egg. I don't want to be the person that didn't offer anything. Any questions or suggestions? Ellie looks deep in thought. She's still deep in thought.
I'm just going to talk. I was starting to type.
Oh.
I like that idea. I'm just wondering, is it going to be too confusing if we take parts of a snowman? Like, are we limited to the number of snowmen you can build? Or would it be better to kind of, for every 5 bookings, for every 10 bookings, you get a piece of the snowman, and then you can use like snowflakes or something to kind of, like at the top or something that like represents how many actual shows you have.
So just having, and so with that, then that would be the teammates or whatever would have to come up with their own picture again, which that wasn't an issue in the last one. Let me pull up.
Since we're doing Disney theme, like what if we assigned each team like a Disney character, and they can pick whatever picture they want to represent their numbers?
That's cute. Okay, here, hold on. Where's my marketing imagery? Come on, Trina, you're not new. I am in a different spot. Okay. I just was on those today, so I'm trying to find them again. Okay. So let me share where they are. I think in the view collection. Where was it? I was just looking at the. Where might it be? Where did my snowmen go? How did I find them? They've gotten shuffled around because they've been up since early December. Oh, here we go. Maybe.
Hey Trina, is that what you tried to send me via text message today?
I tried to send you a GIF.
Oh, because I got all the snowmen.
Oh, interesting.
I'm pretty sure it was.
That's funny stuff. So they have, okay, and I guess, I mean, they say January, but so like this is what they have in the thing, and then the people would post. They would post it. With this one, and I mean, we wouldn't be anticipating, especially doing it now, that it wouldn't necessarily be a, they're just so cute. That it wouldn't be, I don't know. So maybe we don't want to use this because our teams are going to be booking January and February because they're going to be thinking they have to book far out or whatever too. But I just wanted you guys at least to know and see that those were in there. Okay, so like having a Disney character assigned. So do we do that with, I don't know. I don't want to push it off too far. But so like if we assigned each team, like do we just assign teams and just tell them, hey, you're Snow White. Your team's Snow White. Hey, do we just assign teams like we did before and just name them? And then
I
they
think
can
so.
create a picture. And then so then if we're doing Disney, do we do, like I said, do we track just every 5? Do we do individual? Or maybe do like I don't know, like this team is Mickey and Friends. This team is Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. This team is, and have each person be, I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to
What if we
brainstorm
did,
all too.
where you get to build a snowman when you get 3 bookings yourself, or like a certain number?
So like then they would have one snowman on the,
Well, it doesn't really have to be snowman, but whatever you decide.
right.
You don't get to build it until one person has a certain amount.
I think what I worry about is like, because there are going to be some people, I want people to have that sense of, I mean, not peer shaming, but like, oh gall, they're seeing that I haven't done it. My 0 is still on my stocking, you know, or whatever that kind of did. Because even people that probably, like they said they wanted in and then they didn't do anything, they at least went out and got one. You know what I mean? Because they were like, well, I'm not going to be that and not do anything. Being able to put that on. But being able to have them feel really empowered that maybe they only want one party. Maybe their calendar's empty and they just don't want it to be empty, you know, and then they can be like, okay, I only wanted one. I didn't want to build a whole snowman. You know, so do we have them build with the team?
Hey, Trina.
Uh-huh.
I'm not aware off the top of my head of like all the major Disney characters, but I'm assuming because we did so well with this as a group for the Booking Blitz before, maybe we would do this multiple times throughout the year as people are trying to earn the trip and hit their sales goals and stuff like that. So I wonder if we take like, that's why I was saying maybe we could incorporate the Olaf thing. I was trying to think, isn't Frozen, I have boys, I don't have girls, but I was like, is it Frozen? So I was trying to, I was thinking, well, maybe you could pick like that winter theme because it's winter months. And maybe we could pick, or you could do teams that are different, but you could do themes like maybe if we do this monthly, we do it quarterly or something like that. You could pick the, you know, I don't know, Mickey one theme for a Booking Blitz thing. You could pick Donald Duck and another one. I'm old school. I don't know.
No, that would be great to tie those in. I love that. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So we need our sale, like, I mean, our entire organizational sales right now are like $12,000. So I'm guessing that your teams need bookings. And so I would love to do something that would light a fire, you know, just even you guys being like, well, I'm way off track, you know, something that would light a fire. So maybe for this month, maybe instead of doing an organizational one, maybe you guys go into your team page and just try to build one snowman together. What do you think of that? Like being able to post, being like, okay, okay, how many snowmen can we build? You know, just getting some team momentum and have you guys being there. And there's probably, you know, you said you might only have 2 people playing along with you, but if you're working to get your bookings and you have 2 other people being like, yeah, we built a snowman together, and tagging those people and getting them recognition, would that be simpler to have us be able to do something kind of quickly in January without, and then like kind of revisit it in February to do a cute Disney theme that would be something like the more laid out like the Booking Blitzen? And then maybe we can make it like a team competition between director teams. Like, you know, like, okay, Anne's team built 2 snowman and Stephanie Lowe's has 1 snowman and Bobby Joe's just got a second snowman. Like something like that.
I like that better because I think if we post it in Goal Crushers, people will be like, what? Our team's behind? And maybe they'll jump in and actually do some more stuff.
Okay.
I hope.
Okay. Because I think that offers some of that team. I think it'll help you guys with some culture, and again, it's going to pull out those people that are maybe wanting to, and it'll give you guys, I think, the power to be able to do some stuff, and hopefully it will create some chatter on your pages, you know, like, hey, I got to book it, you know, something like that. Okay, so let's do that. So what if we had that, like I said, the images are under the marketing imagery. I'll download them and upload them in the director page, even just so that they're easy to find. Or would somebody be willing to do that for me, to download the snowman and just add them to an album in the leadership page? Okay, awesome. Thank you, Shelly. And then That way we don't all have to be hunting for them, or we can just find them really easily to be able to go in and post any updates, because they'll all just be in one spot. But should we run it, today's Tuesday, if we introduce it to our teams tomorrow and officially run it the 17th through the 20th? I mean, I think that's about the time frame that we did it last time. And just seeing if we can work together and whatever, and just, again, just huge recognition. We'll make a big fat hairy deal about whatever team builds the most snowmen. We're all so quiet. Is that good? That's not good? Okay. And then we can revisit, and because I know all of you guys are processors. And so you guys, I'm in an hour, you're going to be blowing up the page with all the Disney ideas and how February should look. And I'm starting to learn that, which is good. So I'll just trust that this should get us moving on that. And then you guys are going to process and you're going to come back with fabulous ideas. Okay. But I just saw our teams is moving slow. Okay, awesome. Okay, I would love, here, I'm going to go live on our team page and try to get some people a little FOMO on what we're doing and talk about our recruiting goal. And I'll announce to you guys what it's going to look like too. Are you ready to work towards 250? Big ask. Okay.
No.
I'll wait for this to go. Okay. Hey, Goal Crushers. So I'm here with your director team. And by here, I mean we're hanging out on the computer during our director meeting. We get together the third Tuesday of the month and just brainstorm. We've got some ideas and some things that are going on. But I wanted to come in and connect with you guys so we can talk about the recruiting goal for the year. When we had our organizational team meeting, over a week ago already now. And we kind of talked about hey, what should our number be? Okay, our number last year was 200 and you guys crushed it with 210. So whoop, whoop. And then we kind of said, well, what should our number be this year? What should that look like? And kind of going back and forth, kind of oscillating in between, but we kind of landed on 250, I think, finally, in that live as far as what that would go through. So I'm going to show you if, 2 years ago, we did butcher paper. If you were on the team, where we wrote everything down, we got to see it grow. This year, we did stars. You saw the star boards kind of light up. Well, I'm going to show you. I stole this team from someone else, or this idea from someone else, and I just thought that it was a really, really cool visual. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to make chains. So everybody who has been recruited so far this year, we have 5 organizational recruits for the month of January. You guys have welcomed 5 people to our team, so congratulations. We have Alexis Heckendorf, Tanya Grabensky, Deb Snell, Tina Heron, and Jennifer Sampe. So congratulations if you welcomed one of those new team members, and a big woot woot if they are if you are one of those team members and getting started with us. So you are our first ones on our little chain. So this is going to be hanging out in my office, growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I can't wait to see you guys force me to have 250 rings all over my office to where I'm I do not know what to do with this. This is going to be crazy. My thought is that every month I'll do a different color, or we'll rotate colors so we can kind of see what that looks like each month. So we're starting out with blue. We're starting out blue with our January, and we're at 5. Now, in order for us to hit our 250, in order for us to hit our organizational goal, that means that we need to welcome about 21 new consultants every month. And so we're at 5 right now, halfway through. Guys, this is quick cooker month. This is beginning of the year. They can earn any of the rewards, Pampered Chef dollars, double free product. There are so many things going for them to be able to be a part of this. If you have not had a chance to invite them to our Life Tastes Great group, talk with your director so that they can help you get in there and talking with that. I just went in live and did some things tonight. There's different events and different games and stuff like that to be able to talk with. But I would love for you to comment below when you see this video. Tell me how many chains you are going to add okay, this month. Some of you guys had your goals already saying you're going to welcome one person or two people, but I would love to just see this go crazy, okay? So I want you to remember this picture of me just holding this tiny little train. And then I want you to picture what it's going to look like at the end of the year when I am dragging this out or trying to like make it look like all rolled around in a carpet, or when we're scrolling all over the office on what that looks like. Okay. So go out, share the business. If you do not know what to do, then you need to connect with your director. And remember, we've got the big ask. Hashtag big ask. What you're going to do is you're going to go into your director pages and do hashtag big ask and connect with them and show them screenshots on what these people are saying so that they can help you with the art of a recruiting conversation so that we can make sure that we are addressing the person's needs. Okay. So I'm so excited about this. We are going to keep connecting a little bit. Your directors and I will be showing off who are the top people from our organization from 2018. And a bunch of other things that we'll discuss. But I just thought I'd come live and show you guys that that is what is going on. Okay, bye. Okay, so think of that, 21. 21 recruits is what our organization needs per month. Go ahead and give a shout out either in the chat or out loud. Like, have you guys talked with your team? What do your recruiting goals look like for the month as a team? I think I lost my water bottle. Okay, mine is 5. I want 5 personal team members. Like, not just necessarily 5 recruits myself, but I want my team to recruit 5 personal team members in January. Because we are slow and we need to get moving. So I'm starting out with 5. Are you guys? Okay, Bobby Joe wants to get 2. That's great. Need your teammates to respond to me? What do you need your teammates to respond to you for? To make a goal?
Anything. I'm getting ready to actually start calling all of them because no one's responding to text messages. No one's responding to Facebook messages. I feel like we're going down in flames. So I'm getting ready to make some phone calls.
Yep. And like I said, and being able to figure out like, hey, what is going to get them all revved up and going. And being able to do that. And guys, and just remember, like, part of what I would really love to be able to help us do this year is to really help you guys build that team culture so that you don't feel crickets. You know what I mean? And the quickest way to change team culture is to invite new people. And when we are recruiting ourselves and we get new people coming in, and then new people see us all over the page and they just think that this is what we do, then they come in and they just think, oh, well, it's just part of what you do. You talk on the team page and you recruit. You talk on the team page and you recruit. And then their recruits go, oh, this is just what you do. And that's how Goal Crushers happened. Hey guys, you don't some of you guys remember, like, Stephanie and Ann were there with me when there was no talking going on my page. There was nothing happening. When they were probably part of the crickets. But, being able to figure out what that was and what that looked like. So I love that. Okay, 4 more for January, 60 for the year, 5 per month. Good. I love that how that's broken down. 1, we haven't had a new team member, but Stephanie, and I love, because, sometimes we go, well, that sounds really small. Who cares? It's breaking through that barrier. I actually wrote down, what did I write down when I was looking at this? So our 3rd gen hasn't had a recruit since September 30th. And our 2nd generation hasn't had one since November 13th. Okay. Our 1st gen has had a couple in January. Some of these are from our 1st gen directors. Now, granted, there's more 1st gen directors. Okay. So there should be more recruits. But just kind of giving you guys that idea of like, whoa, what is slowing it down? Some of it is that big push. We had a lot of promotion. So it was that big push for directorship. And then, okay, now I got to figure out what to do with these people now that I got them in. So that's a natural part of kind of what happens. Stephanie's like, yes, and that's what happened. But just so that you guys kind of know what that is, but really being intentional with that. We have several people that are going to be part of the LEAD or the LEAD Plus program. Okay. Shelly, Bobby, and Stephanie Lowe are all in here. I have joined the LEAD Plus as well because I want to be able to make sure that I'm holding myself to that standard and just becoming a better version of myself for you guys too. That 8+2 has kind of become my new norm and what I expect out of myself now, but it's because I had someone holding me accountable. to what that would look like. And so, you know, I mean, 2 years ago, 8+2 would not have been normal. That was not, or I guess 3 years ago now, that would have been like the hyperventilating stage. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you guys knew, but like, so think if we had what we've got. Okay, so I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 18, 19, 23. Just with the ones that have responded, that's 23 teammates. If we all worked towards our goals, we would crush that monthly goal. Okay, so just think about that. Like, look at how powerful that was going together. You're thinking your little 1 or 2 isn't doing anything, but like, boom, that just, you know, went above and beyond our organizational goal that the team decided to be able to go after. So don't ever underestimate the power of what you're doing in something bigger. Just like you don't want your teammates to underestimate, you know, that $200 show they entered, 3 people being active with $400, like huge weight off your shoulders, right? Okay, them being active and them achieving their goals is ginormous. Okay, any questions about our recruiting goal or what you would like to see from your team or a big ask or what that should look like? I was laughing at Mary Wiseman. She sent me, I said, girl, you got to start screenshotting me because sometimes you guys copy and paste and I'm not really sure why. Like if there's like more of the conversation, you're like worried or that I'm going to find out their name. I don't really know what the theory behind that is, but when you copy and paste, I think it's coming from you. Like Mary had me thinking earlier today when I was in the middle of a seminar, I was like, oh, go, Mary's on the ledge. I got to talk Mary off the ledge. Because it was just this, I can't, you know, I messaged everybody. I can't get any bookings. It sounds like my family isn't supporting me. Maybe that's just, I'm not cut out for this. And I was all, so I was like, is that from you? She's like, no, the girl that I'm trying to get. I'm like, okay. I was like, I need a screenshot, friends. And some of it too. And also remember, if you are still not feeling confident in recruiting and you want to send me screenshots to have me help you, okay, there's no shame in that. And some of it is important for me to see a little bit of the context. So there might be something that she said or a timestamp or something that you don't think is important that gives me a completely different approach on how I would say something. You know, I've had people be like, oh, well, I just asked her that. Well, I didn't know because you didn't send me the screenshot. You just sent me the last thing that was said. But so encourage your people to do that. One of the biggest times that people have had recruiting jumps is, and especially, and I have executive team leaders and stuff like that that have sworn this up and down, like Claudia Bazar, Donna Landy, Claire Dolger. These people that are like, they started sending screenshots and that's how they started recruiting because they didn't know these subtle little nuances that they were missing or skipping over or not understanding. Okay, so speaking about that, talking, because I'm trying to drive that big ask into your guys' pages. Okay, and they're gonna post in the wrong spot or whatever. But like, what are you guys actively doing to try to get like hashtag Rockstar Do and Tell, Green by 15? You know, we talked about crickets. What are the things that you guys are actively doing to get those conversations on your team page instead of Goal Crushers? I mean, not that I want Goal Crushers to become crickets, but it won't. It won't, just by nature of people even asking questions or giving shout outs or different things or whatever that we have our people to do. What are things that you guys are doing? And then I'll tell you the brilliant idea that I came up with in my coaching session today. At least I think it's brilliant. I haven't tried it. It's on my list for the week. Not going to lie. I need to pick up the pace. Okay. So Shelly's admitting like, I'm not doing like, it has to come from you guys first. If they don't even know that they're supposed to put it in there, or if you said it once a week and a half ago, they don't know, they didn't see it, they don't remember. They're not working their businesses every day, so they might not have even checked the team page for 6 days. I haven't done much. I was confused on what hashtags you were running in our person. So, let's clarify. Okay, so what we had talked about before was Rockstar Do and Tell to move over because that's an easy, hey, I did something, right? I would love Big Ask because I want them to be seeing you guys as that help for recruiting versus them. I mean, they are always more than welcome to come to me, but I would rather have, Becky messaged Ann and then Ann messaged me so that you guys can feel like, okay, they know that they're coming to me first and seeing me as a leader, even if I'm still asking someone else for some help. because I always tell people, here's the deal. They can ask you, you can ask me. And if I don't know, I ask someone else. Like, I got my information from somewhere. I wasn't born with it, or sometimes I'm like, oh, this is what someone said. What is, so being able to fill that out, I think that pushing that big ask, and I need to go in tonight. I'm going to go in, because my goal was to hey, announce this tonight. And then I'm going to go in and say cash pot, because every person that recruited this, recruited somebody, $2 is going in the pot. Okay. And then at the end of the month, I'm going to do a drawing so right now there's $10 in the pot. Okay. I don't know how many names are. I know Stephanie recruited Alexis. Tanya is mine. I think one or two of these is Janet. I think one is Amber Salas. So all of our names will go in the pot. Whoever is the winner is going to get the cash. If my name is picked, then the money's going to roll over to the next month. Okay, so it'll just become a larger pot. Okay, does that make sense? So potentially, if we're hitting our goal, that's $40. That's a $40 drawing, or a $42 drawing every month going on. And if my name is drawn because I'm, working on recruiting, then the next month it could be an $80 pot. So I'm hoping that kind of gets some excitement in goal crushers. But you guys will be able to do the individual, working with your teams, welcoming them and having them feel empowered. And then the hashtags green by 15, but I think we've been doing those in our personal pages for however long. I'm still doing the 500 club, and I'll still encourage the hashtag month. But the Rockstar Do and Tell, and really, we did No Limits, Share the Love. It's basically, that's what this year is. It's big ask. And so some of those behaviors they're already used to, they're just going to need to be reminded where to put it so that you can recognize. Maybe they just get recognition, a post at the end of the month. Here are our people that that did Rockstar Do and Tells this month. Susie had the most. Congratulations, you're our top rock star this month. Maybe all they need is recognition. Maybe you send them a $5 gift card. Maybe they get a little extra something in their Happy Mail. I don't know. Maybe they collect points for some, I don't know. You can do whatever you would want to do with your team page or those, even if it is just recognition, just recognition. For some people, that's really, really big. The hashtag month, I think we're keeping that in the organization just because everybody liked the networking is the feedback that I got from that. I'm going to focus on rebuilding and ending the flood. And that's great. I love that, Bobby Joe. And you're going to always, it doesn't get better. The amount of things I'm missed the boat on that. Sorry, guys. like I said, I fell flat the last couple of years. And I think here's what was hard. Our team culture shifted, and I think shifted in a good way towards the end of the year, but I had built some of the things that I was doing with other people. And then by the end of the year, by September, I was I'm done. I am so over this hashtag No Limits because it hasn't caught on. Nobody's doing it. I'm putting it out there consistently and finishing out the things that I said I was going to do. But I found out very quickly that where I said I was going to put my money was not actually producing more. It wasn't producing more income or more momentum or anything like that. And then I was like, well, shoot. Because now I got to keep putting my money there because that's where I said I was going to put it, but it's not including people. People would get a $30 PC Gear gift card for me and be like, what's this for? It's for recruiting so many people, but glad to know that you weren't working towards it. Glad to know that you got blessed randomly, but you had no idea. So it's not like me giving this incentive was making you work harder to get the, you know what I mean? So think of that with your incentives when you're thinking of that. If you can't tell, my focus this year for our team is recruiting because we have slumped. And if I can get our organization, if we can work together and get our organization to be back in that recruiting and that growth mode, then what's going to happen is you guys are all going to Disney. Okay, you guys are promoting in Title. You are consistently getting paid at Title. These are the things that are going to happen for you guys. And so, Judy Joel, preach till she dies, recruiting changes everything. Recruiting fixes everything. Okay, it gets you more sales. It gets you more excitement. It gets you fresh ideas. It gets you, a higher title, all sorts of things. So I love that. Okay, so is there any other question as far as the hashtags? And what I would expect or what I think. And again, you don't have to do these, but I assume that everybody that's here wants to continue to build team culture on your page. And so, use that and go ahead and have that go and filtered into your spot. I feel like Stephanie's typing. Maybe not. Okay. And also, as you guys go through, like, use the leadership page for hey, here's my idea. What do you think? Or, if you guys are trying to figure that out in your, some of you guys have downline directors, figure out together, what does that look like? Does, like using the momentum of, the organization, like Stephanie has 3 downline directors, she's building an organization. Their team is working actively towards senior directorship. That's a big deal. So you guys are like becoming your own little entity. How, like what things can you be doing to make sure your personal teams are involved in getting some of that chatter? Let's say tell my, no problem, Janet, you're fine. I was like, it's always later for you anyways. But so being able to just kind of come up with it, there is no wrong way to do it. I just want to make sure that you guys are feeling empowered. And I felt like shuffling those things over to you guys should give you a kind of a kickstart to the year with some, hey, they've already been trained. They kind of know what's going on. You guys know what to do. So if you're in your team pages, like I said, I don't know. When we first started, I don't know how many times a day I would post Rockstar Do and Tell, and I was the only one doing it. But eventually people caught on. I love it. There was a few months ago. We had some really good momentum going. It was so funny. I remember watching a new person coming in. They were hashtagging all over the place. It didn't even matter what it was. None of them were actual ones that I was using to search for prizes or anything, but they came in and they knew that hey, there's something exciting. I want to be a part of it. And so those are the types of feelings that you want your people to have when they come in. And so I love that.
Hey, Trina.
Yes.
When I first started, I remember with the thing for the hashtag for the month for the special or whatever, I didn't realize what it was. So I just started posting every meal that I made. And people are like, are you making up your own recipes? What are you doing? I was like, oh, I didn't know. I just thought we were supposed to do that.
And you'll notice, did I ever, there were some times that I was like, people, it's supposed to be the host special. You just showed me your mix and chop. But honestly, who cares? The whole point, the reason we started it was we realized, especially as primarily virtual teams, our teams are not using their products. They're not using their products. They're not confident with their power tools. They're not showing them off. And so they're not getting bookings. You know what I mean? When someone sees me online peeling a hard-boiled egg from the quick cooker in 2, and it's just literally I can put the entire eggshell back together, that gets me bookings. You know what I mean? But we don't know. They might not even have the products, but some of them they might, but it might inspire them to want them. If we're all in there posting the quick cooker, our teammates that don't have it, you know what they're going to want to go get? A quick cooker. Maybe they host for themselves. Maybe they get the sample. And then if they're empowered with that power tool, they're going to start getting bookings because they're going to be showing it off. That's so, so important. And guys, man, free for all, if you can push your teammates to even hit 750, it is so important to have the new tools in their hands so they can actually show them off and believe in them and feel educated. If the new catalog comes out and everybody's like, I'm going to see all the new stuff. And they're like, yeah, me too. Well, I don't have any of that. They need to be able to try to earn some of it. So just really encouraging that power, I think, is important.
Hey, Trina, real quick, were you going to post that in Goal Crushers and announce that there's a change or should we just announce it in our own pages?
I would keep announcing it in your own pages because we talked about it in a team meeting a week ago. But again, it's going to need to be said over and over and over again. People are just still going to be going through, or people on my personal team will be like, oh, I forgot you meant go over to this one and not this one. It's going to happen where they're going to still go in there and be wrong. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think Shelly had asked me a while back or whatever. She's like, so how do you gently tell them it's in the wrong place? I was like, just go on and go be like, that's awesome. Remember, we're keeping track of who has the most Rockstar Do and Tells on, Team Wolfpack. Be sure to copy and paste that over here. There's nothing wrong with them doing it over there, but just encouraging them oh, that's so exciting. I want to be able to recognize you. Be sure to put it over here. You know what I mean? If it's coming off as that, then they'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot. Okay. And then eventually it'll go in. Just remember, guys, it takes a long time. It takes a long, long time for culture to be built. It is the most difficult thing to build as a director. Okay. And it is the most precious thing to keep. Okay. it's just one of those things that you try to protect it. And it's one of those, like, just figuring out when that happens, how that goes. Okay, we have two more things that I wanted to connect with. Okay, new outline. So I'm going to pull that in because it just, I know some of the, I don't know, hiccups or whatever it is that we're kind of running into. I would say the first hiccup is a little bit of a technology. We've never used Google Docs before in any of our trainings or anything like that in Evernote. And so having it be, because I didn't make them, I made them view only in the Evernote, because if I didn't, everyone would be in there messing around and someone would delete it. Someone would be in there deleting it or changing it for themselves, and I was changing everybody's, I didn't know. So it's view only, but what that did then is it made it trickier to save pictures from that outline. So they had, like, you have to, like, make a copy. So then you own that copy, and then depending on what version you have, if it's Microsoft Word or if it's Google Docs or whatever, then you might have to hit, like, save to keep and save as or something. Like, there's some extra steps with that for sure. What I love is Stephanie actually suggested if everybody that did a day would actually just go to Goal Crushers and create a photo album with your 5 or 6 pictures and say, like, mental health and freezer meals or whatever, and post those in there. That would be awesome. And if there are any pictures that I added to the day with some of the bonus posts or things like that, if you would be able to go in and just add those as well so that our teammates had the full outline. Maybe there were 4 pictures that you downloaded and I added a 5th. If you will just make sure that 5th one is included. And that way you can tell your teammates, hey, if you're having trouble with the images, they're just in the Goal Crushers in that one spot. But that would be awesome if you guys would be able to do that. And then I was laughing. I don't know if you guys saw, we had a team leader kind of come in and being like, so are people panicking? I had a host be like, what the heck is this? It's not showing any products. Now some of it, and again, we try things and we see what happens and we move on. So, like, out of the 7 topics, the likelihood of them picking all 4 topics not showcasing like very many products is big. But, like, I noticed when I was going in and I was copying it and I was, like, creating my own words, or I might have added a picture or something, or I added another post that discussed something that was relevant to the topic of the day. But man, I think what it brought to light is that we probably need a team training on really how to use an outline. You know what I mean? Like, this is your outline and it's not really just copy paste. Like, it's here. Did you do your intro? Like, did you create an intro with you? Like, and if you don't know how to do that, here, let me get you Shelly's YouTube on how to craft your story. Like, okay, so did you post anything individually, just manually posting during the week? I go in there and I'll share a my live or something like that, or a picture of the food that I make, and I'll tag everybody in it and do a manual post and make some joke with the host. Those are things that a lot of us are probably naturally doing as leaders, but our teammates are just taking an outline and handing it over and then wondering why they're getting different results. And they can get results with what's there, but it's not going to be the same results that they maybe were hoping to get or expecting it to get. I think Janet mentioned, like the Prep Ahead outline, I think, or Prep Ahead virtual party pack, just those pictures and a lot of those themes or whatever went, very naturally with that. But I think it just brought to my attention that we have a very large team probably not personalizing their parties. And so, just figuring out how do we give them suggestions to do that. And here's the deal. If they're personalizing the parties, they're going to be more invested. They're probably going to be having more fun. They're going to be being more authentic, and they're going to be building more relationships. And that is going to have them want to continue doing business. But so I just thought that was interesting, that if we could mention the thing or figure out with the team page, and then, or the pictures for the outline, and then just encouraging your team, like, hey, make sure, again, we think like, well, of course you would want to say hello at one point or be really personal, but sometimes people aren't. And that might be the types of things that get people unstuck. Okay. Do you have the little picture I sent you? Go and pull that up. If you printed it or if it's on your phone or whatever, and then I have to go find. I must have left it in my office. I've got the binder, so I'll be right back. Okay. We all have our picture. So what I want you guys to be able to kind of walk in, it's still the beginning of the year is still very, very fresh. As you guys walk into this, and we talk about how do we build team culture? How do we help your team feel confident with a show schedule? How do we help you guys get rid of the crickets? Because man, I mean, it's defeating. It is. It's really defeating. Like you go into it, you're just like, like I'm not gonna lie. I went and talked to myself at an opportunity event today for 10 minutes. And the whole time I was having to fight, like I was like, oh God, I don't even want to watch the playback because I'm going to be watching me like have to get through oh my gosh, no one came. No one saw this. Is it a Facebook glitch? Is it because there's 800 people in that group that our teams have at one point or another dropped in there. Is it okay, this isn't, and then some people are like, oh, well, look, as a consultant, well, I wasn't able to make it because I'm like, well, even that doesn't even matter. Like, I don't need consultants to be there. We need our people to be there and to want to be there and to feel like, investing with teammates and kind of connecting, so just little things like that I'm like, man, we're trying to get through our headset. And what I want you guys to do is really to be able to have the options. I love that. Jen says, I'd like to post what I made for dinner every day and have my guests shout out all the Paper Chef items I use. Oh, fun. Super fun. It's an engagement post and it's real life. Like people always worry about being so salesy. I'm like, guys, I go live, especially since I've started this keto thing. I'm going live constantly. Okay. Just because I'm just sharing. And people are seeing these are the things, the tools that she's using, and it's for this lifestyle, or look at what this was helpful, or they could picture themselves doing that. So don't ever worry about being salesy if you're not trying to be salesy. Like if you're just trying to share, just go on there and do it. Okay, so what I want you guys to be able to do as you walk into this, and as you're trying to build your own confidence and your team confidence, is, crafting your vision for yourself and for your team is one of the most important things that you will do as a leader. Okay, being able to really pinpoint what is your purpose, where is your passion, and how do we walk in that so that our team can follow it. Guys, they will follow you and they will start chirping, okay, if you have vision and they can see it and they can want it. Okay, if they don't know why they're following you, if they don't know why they would do something that you're having them do, okay, if they don't know why they would do a Rockstar or do and tell, well, why am I coming in here to do this hashtag? You're coming in here to do this hashtag because it means you are working your business. If you are working your business, you are hitting your financial goals. If you're hitting your financial goals, you're going on vacation. And I can't wait to celebrate that you are the top Rockstar do and tell person for the month of January. That's the vision that you have to sell them. If we just tell them do hashtag Rockstar do and tell, like, why? Well, because it's lonely in here. That doesn't, or being like, hey, we're trying to build a team community, like whatever it is, whatever it is, I want you guys to be able to feel and have that passion. So here's what you do with this sheet. Okay. I'm going to give you a minute or two and you're going to go through and you circle any word that you say, yep, that is valuable to me. Okay, so you just go down the list and reach each one and just circle it if you're like, yep, I value that one. Yep, that's something that I value. Skip over it if it doesn't. And to be clear, everything on this list is a good thing. So you're going to feel really weird that some of them you just blow over like, oh, I probably should care about that, but I don't. You know what I mean? And then some things are going to stick out as worth circling. So I'm going to give you guys some time to do that. If you will either raise your little hand, like your little blue hand, or just hit done in the chat box, that'll let me know when you're finished.
Trina, I suck. I was multitasking. What are directions?
So she's like, uh-oh, we're all supposed to be doing something. And she told us and everybody's quiet. So I missed it. You're circling everything that you find valuable. So like, like every word that you're like, yep, that's valuable to me. Go through and circle it. Something that's important to you. Okay. There is no wrong one. Like I have a billion circled. Again, they're all good things. There is no right or wrong. Okay, and then I'll just give you a heads up. I know you're still working, but after you have circled them, you're going to put a star by your top 3. The 3 that you're like, these are my most important. It's a circle. That's what I was wondering. That's why I was like, I don't know if you guys can see them or not. Okay, so if you're having trouble figuring out your top 3, how are we doing on circling? Did we get through the circling and now we're just staring for top 3? And we're still circling? That means you're overanalyzing probably. No, I'm just kidding. We actually did this exercise in a coaching course that I'm in this morning, and it was really, really cool. But yeah, she like after like 2 seconds, she was like, okay, are you done? And I'm like, I'm only about halfway through the list. It's like, hold on. But if you're having trouble with your top 3, don't worry about it because I'm about to do something in a minute here that's going to give you your top 3 really easily. Love it. Okay, did we get through the circling? Okay, so we're through the circling. We're just at the okay. So this might sound weird. So it's kind of weird to tell you to do this in your mindset, but I promise it helps you like zero in and focus. Okay. I want you to picture like your time is almost up. Okay, you're a great grandma And you are either telling your daughter or your granddaughter what the top 3 things are that are important in life. You have like less than a minute to tell her over your lifespan what 3 things she should really grab hold of and be important. Okay? And those are going to be your top 3. You can pick 3 things from this list. You've got about a minute to tell your daughter or your granddaughter what is truly, truly important in life. And those are going to be the things you star. Did that just make it really easy? Isn't that weird? I was all like, this woman is not going to help me get my brain together. And then she did that. And I was like, oh, boom, boom, boom. It's like, well, I was like, that's strange.
So I picked 3 that I felt I was very confident in, and then you just told me I had to tell my what was important in life, and that's not it.
Okay, and that is so interesting. Now, what do you think was different? Like, do you mind sharing? What did you have before, and what did you pick now?
Hold on one second.
Yeah. Your hair is super cute today, by the way.
What's up, that?
I said your hair is super cute, by the way. It's like straight. So
Thanks. I
Hollywood
was
glue.
telling Stephanie that's one of my. Oh, I got it. Hold on. Oh, there I am. Okay, my headphones are dying. So I picked balance, structure, and efficiency because I feel like those are very important things to me. But if I'm telling my daughter or grandkids what's important in life, it's not necessarily those things, I guess, in comparison to some of the other words about being happy and I don't know. That didn't feel like what I would tell my kids is important.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so here I would love for someone to be willing to be gutsy and do this, and it was super powerful earlier. Would anybody be willing to pretend that they are my grandma and they are giving me the advice that they would give in like a minute or less, like taking those 3 topics? How would you talk to your granddaughter? How would you tell them, here's my legacy that I want to leave. Here are the 3 things that I want to tell you. Anybody willing to role play with me? There you go. Hey, my mom will do it. Okay, Mimi.
Okay, so the 3 things that were important to me will remain the same. And for Trina, what I want most for you in this life is for you to have faith, and in that faith, take joy and be grateful for everything. Have gratitude for everything that you have, because everything else is going to pass away. But it's kind of like the Bible. But faith in God, faith in yourself, faith in your family. Be grateful every day for your family and for everything that you can bless with, and take joy in it all.
Love it. Awesome. Thanks. Okay, will anyone else pretend to be my grandma? There you go. Stephanie will do it. Oops, I think I unmuted you. I hit a button. Sorry, Stephanie Lowe. There you go. The other 2 Stephanies like panicked. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Hold on, Grandma. Hold on. We got to unmute you.
There, is that good?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So the 3 things that I would say would be love, happiness, and integrity. I would say love yourself and love others passionately, crazy. That's all there is in this world. And I would tell you to be happy, chase your dreams, and find happiness, and no matter where it is, because everything else will come and go, and you got to be happy in life. And then integrity. Be honest, be true, be your word matters, your actions matter, and that's all you got to give, and it's going to be what people remember. So that's what I would say.
Love it. Thank you. Anybody else want to go? Is that Bobby Joe's hand up from before? Or was that a new one up?
No, I'll go. Okay, so the 3 I picked, the first one was making a difference. Second one I picked is trust. And the third one I picked is compassion. So what I would say, make your mark in the world, make a difference. It's important. It feels good. It feels good to help people. It feels good to be just kind of there for people to make a difference. Trust. So trust your instincts. And then compassion. Compassion is something that you should have because it feels good to feel good about things.
Love it. Thank you. Anybody else? I don't want to cheat anybody else if they wanted to take the opportunity to practice that. So I do want to give anybody else a chance if they want to. Okay. So here is what I want you guys to kind of take from that. Like the things that we think are important, even when we're in like a business mindset, and the things that we think that we need to be able to be doing and be on our list and all these things that we need to do, it's not that they're not important or they're not good things, but are they actually attached to your purpose and your passion and the influence that you can have with everyone around you? You know, when you're going and, you know, approaching your team with different things, are they matching up with these core values of the things that are truly, truly important? You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be, you know, the thing I wouldn't tell my daughter was, well, I hope you had a great paying job and that you know, rose as high as you could in the ladder. You know, I'm like, that's not what is important. You know, and so being able to, you know, like, oh, I hope that you earned, you know, the Founders Award in sales. You know, like, oh, you didn't? Oh, well, you should get on that. You know, like, oh, I hope you earned 15 incentive trips. Oh, you didn't earn that? Well, guess your life didn't. You know what I mean? Like, when we can funnel all those things down to what those elements are and how we can live our own lives and our own businesses with that passion, if we can create that vision for ourselves and tunnel all of the other actions that we do for our business into that vision, okay, then it's huge. Like, I'll tell you what mine were. I mean, it was immediately. I hit faith, family, and influence. And, you know, I would tell, if I was looking at Kylie or I was looking at one of my kids, I would say, here's the deal. Like, life is going to throw crazy things at you. And the only thing that is going to be stable is going to be God. That's going to be the only thing that is consistent from when you were little being there for you to when, you know, you're on your deathbed, and being able to have that faith when when everything else, you know, lets you down. That's going to be what is consistent. So stay hold to that. God has given you your family, and your family is going to be, it is the thing you are most responsible for. And so just being able to do your best and to love them well, to let them see you vulnerable and broken sometimes when you're vulnerable and broken, but to be able to just allow them to be that piece of your life that you have influence over. And then the element of influence, no matter who you interact with, no matter what opportunities you are given, you have the ability to influence. So which way are you going to use that power? Are you going to use it to empower them to feel better about themselves, to feel successful, to feel loved, and to feel valued like God's creation? Or are you going to use that to just let that fall to the wayside, or to hurt someone, or to be harmful, or to just let all of those opportunities that you had to truly make a difference in someone's life pass away? I want you to look for every opportunity that you have influence, and I want you to use that to your fullest, whether that's something small, like being kind to someone at the grocery store, or whether that's working a direct sales business as hard as you can. Like, whatever that is going to be, like, just to be able to do that. Like, looking at that, if we live in our passions from that, like, I mean, like, the reason I wanted to be a school teacher was because I wanted to make a difference with kids. Like, I wanted to influence. And it's really weird to look at that full circle from what the things that I wanted as a child to what I went and got my college education for, to where we walk into this business, to the opportunities that I have today. Like, even I was asked, with the LEAD program starting, I mean, today I had back-to-back webinars and phone calls, pretty much up until I had an hour with my family from 5:30 to 6:30, and then getting ready for or from 6 to 7, and then getting ready for stuff that we had tonight. And like, it was just a crazy day, but Kathy Gazella asked like, hey, would you come on and talk to some people about how this would work? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. And I was like, I have realized that my passion and the things that I want to do is I want to influence people. And I don't know if I'm necessarily going to, or what impact that might have on a grand scale, but any opportunity that I'm given to do that, I want to be able to walk in that passion. So even though it might have made lunch a little bit crazy, I had to get a kid down for a nap or whatever to get on a little, I'm like, I wanted to take that opportunity. If you guys can look at those 3 things, and if you can walk your personal vision and your personal business looking through those lenses, your team is going to happily follow you because they want vision too. They want vision too. And for the most part, if they don't know how to find their own, then they want to cling to someone else's, because everybody desires to have vision and direction and purpose. Okay. Sometimes people join our team just for the sake of having community and purpose. Imagine if you could offer that to someone, because you were focused in the right direction. All the other things have to happen. They do. Okay. But like, find your vision so that you can lead yourself well, and people will follow. Another thing that she had us do, I love this, put a check mark. And I'll have us do this after. I'll go ahead and close it. But I encourage you to go back and look through this list and put a check mark by the qualities that you would like in a recruit. What are the qualities you would like in a teammate? Because it's going to be really interesting, the different ones. You're like, well, this one and this one and this one. And, the reasons, or some of them that you're like, oh, I don't need that one. Oh, I really want this one. But it's interesting to see, because what that does is it kind of creates the resume that you're looking for to cross your desk. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean that we pick and choose whom we ask, but it lets us know really some of those specific things that we look for, that when we see that in someone, we go and let them, figure that out. If we can figure out what someone wants to do, what they want to be, what they want to have, and what they want to give. Okay. If we can figure out what we want to do, what we want to be, what we have, and what we want to give, we're going to have a clear vision. If you can ask someone that you're thinking about recruiting, hey, just tell me about yourself in just a minute or less. And you have that, and you are listening for what they want to do, what they want to be, what they have, and what they want to give. Okay. You're going to be able to connect with them. You're going to be able to validate them, and you're going to see a spike in your recruiting. You guys kind of joke around about the WWTS. Like, I don't think I've ever worded it this way, but that's what my brain tries to do when I'm looking at those situations. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so what did I hear that they think that they are and that they're doing right now? Like, okay, what did I hear and what they currently have and what they would like to be able to give or be able to have? Just being able to keep those mindsets really, really changes your perspective with those conversations. Okay, that's all I have for you tonight, friends. I will talk to you guys soon. Our main kind of promise that what we're doing is we're going to get that booking blitz independently, and then I will work on it and start announcing it tomorrow. And Shelly is going to get those pictures up for the snowmen. Those of you that did a day, if you will get in the a day of the outline, if you will be sure to just get in Goal Crushers, it should be pretty fast. Even if you could do this like right after we went up tonight, like right after you log off tonight, that would be awesome to just have those up there, just so that you can start telling your teammates if you need those images are in there. You just go to Goal Crushers, create an album, name it whatever your day was, healthy habits, budgeting or healthy habits, smart swaps, or, or whatever. Be able to put that in there. That'll be, oh, look at Shelly. There's Shelly's multitasking. That's why she didn't know what our initial instructions were. Margaret, she's like, but they're there. Boom. Too funny. Okay, well, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you were able to kind of just spend some time thinking, and you guys are doing awesome. Let's rock out January. There's still plenty of January left. Let's go hit some goals. Okay, bye, friends.